Hi and welcome to the screencast. This is your host Mohammad Azam, and in this screencast I will show you the basic introduction of JQuery JavaScript library, and this will be the basic of the basics. So you'll only learn how to basically get element by using different things, okay, by different conventions. So I have already added a reference to the JavaScript library, which is JQuery. You can download it by JQuery website, from the JQuery website. And what we are going to do is we are going to see that number of ways that we can fetch the elements, of course. So we have a div over here. Here we go. And inside the div we have a JQuery demo heading. So if I run this page, you will simply see that it displays a JQuery demo written. That's it. So let's create a div, and I have a class over here called default. Okay, so I can assign this class to the div. Here we go, default, and I can say this is a test. And if I refresh the page, you will see that this is a blue box, and inside that there is written this is a test. Pretty simple, right? Now we will see number of ways that we can get this div element. So let's see, input type button value, get div, okay, and on click I can say over here something get div. Okay, now if I want to get the div, I have to implement the function, and inside that I will actually get the div. So in the old fashioned way, if I want to do it, I will simply do document.getElement by ID, and I know that the ID, let me set it to div1, and now I know that the ID is div1. And this is pretty simple. What it will simply get is the div element, which is of course div1 is this div, and it will get that element. So let's see. So I say get div, and you can actually see that I'm using Firefox actually. So this will return you object HTML div element. Okay. Now if you want to get the div element using jQuery, it's a little bit different. I'm going to use the $sign, and inside this I'm going to use a hash. Now hash actually means that I'm searching for the element, for the DOM element, using its ID. So I'm just going to say div1 alert, and I'm going to alert this. Okay. Now if I do a get div, it doesn't return me the HTML div element, but this time it returns me an object. So this means that this is a jQuery object that is being returned. And now since it is a jQuery object, I can perform different things on it. Okay. So this was the one way to return a div. One thing you will notice is that the div has a class default. Okay, so I can also say that, hey, get me the element that has a class default, and if I run this, it will again get me the same object, because there's only one object with the class name default. Let's do something else. Let's create a p element and create multiple of pre element, like 4 of them. Okay, so there are 4 p, which is a paragraph element. And now I'll say, okay, get me p and length. So this will actually get all the elements which are p elements, which are paragraph element, and it will alert out the length, which will be 4 in this case. So let's run this, and you will see that the 4 is being displayed. So when you have more elements, or when you write simply the name of the element, a collection is returned. Okay, and that's pretty much it. These are the 3 ways that you can get the element, and of course there will be like more ways, but most probably you will be using these 3 ways to access your DOM elements when using jQuery. I hope you like this screencast, and thank you very much.